Hey everybody, want to welcome you to Portfolio 2. We are beginning the next um, segment of the class. The next portfolio is the evaluation essay. That's what I want to introduce to you today. I'm going to spend a little bit of time just talking about the evaluation essay, going over the necessary parts of the assignment sheet that will get you started on this next portfolio. So we're taking a different approach here, thinking about this evaluation essay. It's going to be different, a little bit more complex than the personal narrative that I had you complete. The personal narrative was more sort of inward looking, where you were writing about yourself, your own experiences, your own writing. You were looking at the things that define you internally. Now we're going to be kind of moving that outward, kind of an external view. What do you think about the world? What do you think about certain aspects of the world? I'm going to define what that is, what the evaluation topic will be when I get to the assignment sheet in just a second. But at least to get you started on thinking about evaluation as something that is fundamentally complex, but also something that can be used in everyday life. In fact, we do use evaluation in everyday life. And the quote that I have from the textbook that will get the assignment sheet started here will help you to see how that works, how there's a difference between sort of the informal evaluation that we do every day and also the formal evaluation that I'm going to ask you to complete here in this next portfolio. Most importantly, what I want you to understand as we begin talking about this genre is that evaluation is formal evaluation is something that moves beyond just the basic likes and dislikes of something. And we often evaluate things based on our experiences, what we like and what we don't like, a restaurant or something we buy or whatever. So while that is kind of an informal approach to evaluating things, we're going to talk about the very specific qualities or characteristics of what make up a formal evaluation. This falls into, as the first one did, the critical framework. Now, I introduced to you the critical framework when we focused on the first essay. You can refresh your memory by going back into your process notebook for Portfolio 1 and looking what I had you do for what I had you write down for the critical framework for that first one. There are elements of this particular essay that fall into that as well, but it's going to change. We're changing the genre. So we're going to be looking at writer's voice a little bit differently. This writing will be a little bit more formal. You'll take a very different tone with this because you're doing a formal analysis and evaluation. There are going to be audience expectations. The peer resonance is going to be shifting a little bit, so we'll talk about that as well. And also purpose too. We're going to redefine purpose for this particular essay. We'll get to that theoretical stuff in our next class meeting, but today what I really want to introduce to you is the basics of the assignment sheet, a little bit of the terminology that goes along with evaluation, and to kind of walk you through, prepare you for the topic proposal, which is due before our next class meeting. So I'm looking at the I'm looking at the essay assignment sheet. Portfolio 2 module is open for you, so you can follow along or reference the assignment sheet in this lecture. Feel free to replay parts of this or listen to it again if you need to. In fact, all of the basic guidelines for these for this essay is the same as the last one. The points are the same. There's the essay, the writing center reflection, the process notebook, and the basic guidelines, 750 words, So again, with the first draft, as close as you can get to that. One little difference here is that you will be, because we're going to be using sources here, you're going to be evaluating a subject, so you will have to note those in a references page. So there'll be that additional part, and this will be an APA format. I talked about recently in class how the first portfolio is in MLA, and then we're going to be switching over to APA. Don't feel like you have to rush out and start digging up sources on APA and kind of figuring out what it looks like for the draft. None of that matters. We're not going to worry about that right now. We'll talk about it in class over the next couple weeks. And I'll get you familiar with APA as we move through the process of creating this essay. Right now, the only place that you are sort of occupying in your intellectual space is that invention work. We're just starting out thinking about topics, thinking about the direction that you want to go with that, answering some questions about your topic that will get you started thinking about a direction for your draft. And that's it. That's all we're working on right now. Okay, quick introduction. And this is a quote from the text. It's in the assignment sheet. Evaluating is the act of judging the value or the worth of a given subject. We make informal judgments constantly through our daily lives. We decide we like a particular car more than another, or one song on the radio is better than another. Such evaluations involve little analysis. We also take part in formal evaluation. That is a process that goes beyond an expression of just likes and dislikes. So that's the biggest part I want to distinguish between those two, is that this idea of evaluative argument versus critique. Critique often is centered around liking and disliking something and not moving beyond that. But we're going to really be doing an evaluative argument here, where you'll be defining specific criteria that will help you to evaluate that argument. That's the next part I want to come to. This is the next portion of the assignment sheet. There are two very particular words that are terms used within evaluation that I think are important to understand. The textbook goes into these in much more detail, but I want to quickly talk about these two words. The first one is subject. The subject is the subject of your evaluation and analysis. That is the thing that you are evaluating, whether, as I mentioned in that example, car, song, whatever. The subject is the thing, a physical thing or idea or whatever that you're going to be evaluating. The criteria, the second term that I want to define, are the qualities or the characteristics of that subject that you're using to base the evaluation on. So I'll repeat that one more time. This is in the assignment sheet. Criteria are the qualities or characteristics of a subject which you're using to base your evaluation. Now, in the case of this particular essay, I have left it wide open, as always, for you to pick one topic that you want to work with. I'm not specifically assigning or defining a particular topic you want to use, but I am using a broad category of movie genre. This essay is going to be an evaluative analysis of a movie genre. And I'm asking you to pick which one you want to use. I give you a list of, there's at least 15 or 20 here in the assignment sheet, and you're going to pick from one of these: science fiction, horror, fantasy. There's a whole list here: adventure, thriller. Whichever one you choose in your topic proposal, I want you to just let me know this is the genre that I'm choosing to write about. The next part in the topic proposal is a rationale. I'm asking you to give me a rationale. That's just a fancy word for an explanation. Couple sentences. You'll see this defined. If you click on the topic proposal assignment, you'll see a detailed explanation of exactly what I want you to include. The genre title, whatever that is, Western or teen comedy, whatever you're choosing as the movie genre. Then I would like you to think about a couple films that fit into this. These are maybe movies you've seen, movies that you want to see, but haven't gotten around to it. within that genre. So if you're choosing teen comedy, pick two teen comedies that you're going to want to use within the essay as examples, and that's one of the rhetorical tools that we'll talk about when we get back together in our next class. So the two films that you may want to use as examples in the essay. Now, again, you're not evaluating, you won't be evaluating the movies, you're evaluating the genre. And when we come back and meet face to face, I will go in more depth and we'll have a conversation about what that's going to look like. What is the movie genre? What are the expectations that we have within that genre? How do the movies that you've chosen exemplify those particular expectations that viewers would have for a particular kind of movie? Those are some questions that we'll be asking and exploring answers to when we get back together. So, top proposal, that's the first step in this process, and the first thing I'd like you to complete before our next meeting. And if you have any questions while you're working on that, please feel free to reach out to me. The assignment sheet, as I said, is available in the Portfolio 2 module, and it has all the information that I just went over. And you get that top proposal sent to me before our next class meeting by the due date. And we will pick it up from there when we come back. Any questions again? Let me know. Have a great day. Bye-bye, everyone.